Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Wayne's World of Science and Technology. Tonight, we're going to look at propagandists. I guess that's the nicest way of putting it. I can think of a lot of other ways of putting it, which involve a lot of four-letter words, but these are people who have shown such a complete lack of connection with reality that the only conclusion I can draw is, well, it comes down to a few basic possibilities. They're getting paid, they're dumber than a sack of rocks, or they've been taking too much LSD. Something along that line. You know, basically, these are people you really should ignore at all costs. Anyways, starting off, Jeffrey Sachs. World War III between the U.S. and Russia now inevitable. Now, as far as I can tell, Sachs does not have his own YouTube channel. He just shows up everywhere else. There's a whole bunch of fools who think he actually knows what he's talking about. Irregardless of the fact that he's been basically saying that the entire world's all going to die for the last 10 years, as far as I can tell. I mean, you know, everything is doom and gloom about the United States. And basically he's saying, you know, everything's going to hell, is his message. Now over here we go to Scott Ritter, who is basically saying the same thing. Everything is going to hell. He's been saying everything's going to hell for a long time. As a matter of fact, I tracked some of his early statements on the war in Ukraine, and he expected it to be over in weeks, if not days. He's still basically saying that Ukraine is going to fall apart within weeks, if not days. Gotta bet he's consistent. Oh yeah, and at various times he appears to have been living in Russia. So you got to wonder about the guy. Then there's Douglas McGregor, who I keep on wanting to call Douglas McDodo. Ukraine, organized crime state. Cannot starve Russian war machine. I guess we'll find out how right he is. According to me, they're doing a pretty darn good job. It seems somewhat unusual that they'd say otherwise. But anyway. You know, he keeps on warning everybody. The sky is falling, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. As I said, at least he's consistent. Then there's this fool who claims to be a judge and who claims to respect the Constitution. Well, as far as I can tell, he doesn't have a courtroom, so that doesn't make him a judge in my opinion. So he's a bit of a fake there. Even if he may have once been a judge, he does not appear to be currently. Second, he happens to like interviewing Douglas McGregor and basically a whole bunch of other people who, you know, Jeffrey Sachs, Mearsheimer. Mearsheimer is another one who's interesting at times. But basically he tends to, you know, Douglas McGregor. Yeah. Okay, then there's Tim Pool, a.k.a. Tim Fool, the guy who actually was taking Russian money and finally had to admit it. He said that Ukraine was the greatest danger that the United States faced. Yeah, right. As if the Chinese military doesn't exist. You gotta wonder about some of these people. Dumber than a sack of rocks. Weeb Union. Well, he's been basically saying that Ukraine's going to die for years now, actually since the start. Again, he's consistent, but he appears to have drank so much Russian Kool-Aid that he's drunk. Another one is History Legends. He does do some historical stuff, which doesn't appear to be half bad, but his stuff on Ukraine is basically, oh my God, Ukraine's going to die. Yeah. Conversations among the ruins. Well, if your father's got a brilliant mind, you sure as hell don't. I mean, again, Chicken Little. The sky is falling, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. Good God. Then there's this guy who has some very extremely laughable science. He did one on Nareshnik, which got my opinion, and that really, where is it? It's down a bit further. I don't know where exactly he's got it hidden. So I see I'm on home videos. This was actually one of his videos. His one in the Nareshnik was basically, oh my God, it's unstoppable. And it's like, guy, do you have any idea what you're talking about? Anyway, as you can see from the titles they use and stuff like this, these guys are very heavily into sky is falling, oh my God, everybody should panic, the end's coming tomorrow. And they've been doing this, in some cases, for like 10, 15 years, from what I can tell. Ritter's been doing it for damn near that long anyways. And I don't know why people still listen to them. The sky hasn't fallen yet. It's not really giving any signs of falling. But hell, they got one great rift. They're all making a lot of buck off this. Anyways, that's it for now, folks. Like, share, subscribe if you got something out of it, and have a good day. Bye-bye.